I know if you follow this channel at all, I've reviewed loads of guitar wireless systems lately, but hear me out. Let me explain why this one's better. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Lee Townsend. I'm a full-time professional musician based on the south coast of Spain. I play weddings and functions and all that kind of thing. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the Swiff Audio WT09 guitar wireless system. And I've reviewed loads of wireless systems in the last couple of months. But I thought this one was worthy of its own video because it irons out a few of the issues that I've had with other units that I've reviewed lately. And I'm fully aware of the fact that you're giving up your time to watch these videos, so I'm going to try and keep this one as short as possible and just go over the things that I really like about it in comparison to the other units that I've reviewed. So I'm going to start with this nifty little carry case, and this is probably the least important of the points that I've got to make about this device, but I thought it was worth a mention, and it should be kind of a given that it comes in some kind of carry case, right? But this one's kind of cool. It's got this kind of lanyard thing so that you can easily drag it out of a rucksack or whatever you use to transport your equipment to a gig. But what I really love is it's got this magnetic clasp to the case, so it magnetizes together. So I do like that about this unit, but I'm not going to waffle on any more about that because it is, as I said, the least important of the points that I've got to make about it. So they've got this really cool sort of gear stick knob design, so hopefully you can see there that it's got like the jack plug, as you'd expect, that goes into this hinge which is attached to a kind of ball thing on the end. And the reason that I think this is really cool is a lot of these units, if you've got any of these all-in-one with an integrated battery guitar wireless system, they have the same thing. They have obviously the jack plug with the hinge, but then this part at the end is massive and it's like flaps around, which is fine if you've got a Strat style jack socket, but if you've got a Telecaster or a Les Paul or a PRS or something like that, it sticks out the bottom of the guitar and flaps around and swings round, and it just gets in the way, it gets caught on stuff, it's awful. And that has been obviously thought about by Swiff Audio, and they've built in to a new design, this ball design, which doesn't flap around like a nutcase. So I really love that about this unit. And let me show you, for example, how this sits within a Strat style jack socket, or a Telecaster style jack socket, or an acoustic end pin jack. I'll put it in my PRS just so that you can see that, so that I'm completing the set as well. You can see that it just fits better in all of those different sort of designed jack sockets. So the next point that I want to make about it is when you turn these units on, you've got this really nice RGB LED ring around the main button. And not only does that show you when these devices are powered on, they both appear green when they are connected, and if there's any kind of interference that's going between them, they will change colour to show you that there's something going on, that there's interference, which is really good in this day and age when the bandwidths that these are on tend to be really saturated because all the devices that are in any room that you play in, I mean, there's likely, for every person in there, there's at least one device in their pocket. So it's cool that this device shows you if there's any kind of interference between them, and it will automatically look for the best sort of signal, the best frequency to be on, and work with what it's got to sort of pair up as strongly as it can, which I think is really cool. I love that about this unit. And just going back to the design, by the way, the finish is like this rubberized textured thing. It's not a cheap feeling plastic, it's kind of a rubbery effect, which I really like about it. And one of the main things, one of my favourite things about it is that on the side, if you push the button once, you have this really cool LED battery level indicator built right into the unit, which is an absolute game changer, because when you get to a gig, other units like this don't tend to have that. So you have to actually plug the thing in to charge and wait for the light to go out so that you know when it's 100%. But the problem with that is you only know when it's 100%. You don't know when you plug it in, if it's at 95%, it's going to behave exactly the same as if it was on 20%. So it's really nice to have that battery level indicator on the side of this. And I remember about 2012, I think it was, I got a MacBook Pro that had a similar thing on the side. It had a button and an LED indicator to show you how much battery was in the thing without having to actually boot the laptop up, which I thought, why don't other manufacturers do that? Obviously, it's too much hassle or whatever to integrate that and implement it into their design, but Swiff Audio have really gone all out with this, and they've done a great job, I think, with this design. I really love this unit, and I've tested it extensively over the last month. I've probably had this for about 6 weeks, and I've used it at every gig, and it's not faltered. And I tend to get out in the audience and get them singing along and stuff, and there's bodies between me and my pedal that I use where the receiver's plugged in, and it's never faltered. I've never had so much as a grumble out of it. It's just been really good. Never run out of battery, and we tend to do pretty long sets. So I really rate this unit so far. In my experience with it, it's been pretty much perfect. But there is one thing that I feel like I need to mention, which is the only negative that I've been able to find so far, which is the length of time it takes to power this thing down. So I'm going to start to press the power button now. And it's off. That feels like an eternity to power this thing down, and I don't know why it needed to be so long. I think in the manual it says 7 seconds you have to press it down for to turn the thing off. I remember the first gig that I did with these, my bass player went over to switch it off for me, and he was like, "How'd you turn it off?" He was looking on the side for a switch or something. It was just, I was like, "No, you really have to press down on those things for ages." And he was like, "Oh my God." When it eventually turned off, he was like, "Man, that is a long wait to get that to turn off." But, you know, that is something that I can live with alongside all of the positives with this thing. So I really rate it. So if you're interested in checking this thing out, there's an Amazon link in the description below. Go and check it out. I probably should mention that Swiff Audio have sent these to me free of charge. They haven't charged me for them, but I do get to keep them, but they don't have any say in what I'm talking about, and they really have just let me use the thing and give you my views on it. So hopefully you've got something out of this video. Hopefully you check them out, because I really rate them. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video really soon. Take care. Bye bye.